Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Floodland. I'm once again going to start a series. The previous video that I did on this game was more of an exploration, seeing what it's about and seeing whether I like it. And I do. I want to play more of it. So I'm playing as Brendryen. These guys have the trait / science rational thinking that I thought I had on Radiant Future just before. But they probably changed the last few things in the patch. So, it is going to be Brendryen, a former oil drilling platform, and their descendants. We try and use our knowledge and skills to create a community best suited to the challenges of the new world. We make it happen by centralized authority capable of making rational decisions quickly. Let's go ahead and run it.
When I was 15, I buried my sister with my own hands. Some think the event was the cause, but it all began long before. I remember the times of confusion and strife. I heard the silence that drowned the screams. The event, it was simply the final blow. Some say those in charge failed us. Others, that we are all to blame. But we dwell too much on what's behind. I say, let's focus on what lies ahead. And ahead, I see hard-working hands building houses. I see strong backs carrying food. And smiles. The smiles that greet newcomers. I cried when my sister died. And now we mourn our friend as she is taken by the water. But tomorrow, I don't fear tomorrow I'll be crying. Because I know if we make it, we can all sit back and laugh.
Alright, here we are. Let's get to work. We have arrived. This is where the scouts send up those flares. The people, of course, are hungry. We're going to set up the basic infrastructure first. And we're going to make sure that we have a permanent settlement over here. That's the first plan. So, let's have a look at this place of interest. This should contain the scouts. Or at least it did in the previous iteration. Let's go and get some plastics and some food. Start gathering as much food as possible, to ensure that we're going to not starve until such a point as when we have enough resources to actually start mining. Well, mining, I mean gathering risky food and turning that into safe food. So we're going to start fishing. When it comes to game mechanics, I have much to learn. I haven't explored all of it yet, so you'll be exploring that with me. If that is not your style, then please feel free to, of course, check out the game with somebody else who already very much knows the game. Now we need to gather 60 foods, and we are definitely going to do that because we have more people joining us. Chief, we found what you call a prepper cache in one of these buildings. There's some equipment in the first room and a headless skeleton holding a shotgun. It seems the corpse is guarding the entrance to the basement. We might be able to find a lot of equipment and food there. The whole place looks quite eerie, so we chose to come to you and ask what to do rather than act on our own. What do you think of it all? Take only things you can extract safely and leave the basement untouched. There's no point of being afraid. There's no point in taking any chances. I am going to open the basement. I think that would be the best option. Unfortunately, I don't have Erudition 2, so I can't see if there are any booby traps in there. But the fact that the prepper blew his own head off, at least that's my current take on the situation, does lead me to believe that there might not be a threat anymore. So there's no point, and open the basement. Jerry probably won't survive. The basement was booby-trapped. The moment we opened it, the shotgun fired straight at Jerry. He's in the hospital. We have a hospital, but the chances of recovering him are slim. They got placated. We got 5 food. Yeah, a bit of everything. But we lost one of our guys. So the first death. I'm going to study the body to avoid more deaths. Hopefully that will work. At least it got me some research. And people are glad about it. So, yeah, that was not the best way to start the whole expedition. We do have a death. And I'm now down to 9. Every ending is a new beginning. Let's not delude ourselves anymore. This is the end of our crazy, desperate, but also in our own way, beautiful adventure. We're not able to achieve any more goals, but who knows? We will try again. Wow. Is that because I lost one person? That seems extraordinarily difficult. Extraordinarily harsh. Wait, one died? And the whole thing failed? Okay. Let's try it again. And see if we get spawned into a different biome, a different area, if you will. Because this... this was a bit weird. Yeah. The daughter, sister died, sorry. Let's see if there are any more booby traps around. I want to explore this place. And I want to start setting up, once again, a couple of exploration things. Now, of course, I considered cutting this whole part out. Like the first bit where it all went to shit. But I thought, you know what? No. This is kind of entertaining in the sense of how bad it happened. Oh well. Yeah, stationary travelers. Excellent. Find a permanent settlement. Working on that. Get the food. Make sure we keep getting the food. Explore here. Get some plastics. Start working on further components that we will need to complete building more stuff. What do we have over here? Coronal mass ejection. Large eruption of magnetic plasma from the sun's outer atmosphere, or corona, that propagates outward into interplanetary space. It's one of the main transient features of the sun. It shocks in the solar wind and can cause most intense geomagnetic storms on Earth. Okay. Although it is known to be formed by explosive reconfiguration of the solar magnetic fields through the process of magnetic reconnection, its exact formation is not yet understood. So I guess that was a bit of background. Okay, we got enough resources. Now we can set up the stuff. Find the scouts in the nearby buildings. I do want to approach this. And of course, we're going to keep exploring. Because there is always more to explore. There is a building here. Now we can take on more tasks. I got all the expeditions set. Alright, boys. There's a mushroom cluster here. This is a renewable resource. I should be able to use this if I get the forager hut. But I'm playing the prelude, so it is entirely possible that the game goes, nope, you're not allowed to do that. You have to do what we say. You have to build a fishing hut. If so, I can probably start using the mushroom cluster later. Your attention is needed. Speak. Find the scouts hiding in the nearby ruins. Yep, working on that. But they're not hiding in the ship, right? An article in a business magazine. While Kanto Corporation last year's results were impressive, there are doubts concerning CEO Jessica Hart's performance. Is this relevant? I mean, I don't see anything in here that really specifies as to what is going on with the corporation or the world. So, I'm not terribly interested to read that particular blurb. Let's get some more food. And supposedly the people are here. So let's go and see if I can actually get to them. Yeah, let's explore more. House is abandoned. Let's search this. And this one is abandoned. It's still worth our attention. But... oh, I need to, yeah, right, I need to deconstruct it using a hacksaw, which I currently do not have. Where do you need my attention? There's no more free space for rubbish in the stock. Yeah, and I can't exactly build anything either, because the game doesn't allow me to, up until the point where I find the scouts. Your attention is needed. Yeah, go ahead. Here we go. Let's go get our scouts back. We found them! The scouts have barely survived the expedition. They lost more than most of their equipment and resources when their boat sank in the storm. Let's have them join us anyway, because I do need more people, and I could definitely use some more resources. So, now we're going to move on and get this place a bit more permanent. So let's go and do a bit of research, turning the encampment into a permanent storage facility. So, that's part of the exploration. It's going to be small storage. Is it? Wait a second. Or can I already do that? Go to tech development. Yeah, no, I think it's here. There you go. Develop new start. Done. Research this. And now I can start upgrading it. I do have enough rubbish for that. So this should be a fairly quick process. And in the meanwhile, we're going to keep gathering food. Because my previous playthrough failed, seeing as I was going through my food far faster than I was able to replenish it. And thus, disaster struck. And the whole thing fell apart in about half an hour. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, I get a research point. Since we turned our encampment into storage, we no longer have a place to sleep. So time to start building these tents. Very good. Let's go and research the tents, which is under well-being. It's not a great place to sleep. It's made of rubbish. Water and food can be taken from here as well as medication. People simply sleep here. Let's get that and start building a couple of tents, because right now my people are, I guess, sleeping out in the cold under those tarps. So let's get a couple of these things built and potentially get this thing taken apart in a minute or two, depending on when I can actually research the hacksaw. Yeah, we're still getting resources from there. Excellent. Ooh, we're going to search this. Provide tents for your people. Done. Okay. Provide a steady supply of edible plants or fish, so I can pick. Ensure that people have a steady access to clean water and gather a supply of rubbish. So we're going to search this. And we're going to start using rubbish in order to build things. When it comes to survival, I want to have a water still. It's going to give me 17.5 water. And I do believe I need 2 of them in order to provide enough water for the whole colony. The forager hut, collecting food in a systematic way. It's going to give me 12.5 food. The fishing dock is going to give me 15 food. And this is more expensive for less results. But it does lead to the forager hut. It's going to give me 21. The fishing dock leads to the fishing wharf, which is going to give me 27. I'll take the fishing dock, thank you very much. And I'll take the field kitchen, because otherwise I might not be able to turn this into safe food. So, let's go and build. I want to make sure I don't get completely dry on one resource. So let's pick a water still and put it over here. And when it comes to fish, I'm not sure I can find enough of them yet. There's 2 colonies there. And there's 3 of them here. So this is the place where we're going to have our fish. I definitely need a lot more rubbish in order to gather, or in order to get the stuff that I need. Fortunately, there's 200 here. So that's going to be very helpful. We have an access source of water now. Let's take a few people off of this and see if I can get a few more plants here. There's a bit more lumber there. And there's a bunch of plastic over there. Excellent. Excellent. There's some more over there. Yeah, that ought to do it. Alright, what we got here? Homelessness. Yeah, I still need to fix the amount of tents, because right now I don't have enough. I'd rather make sure that we have enough people getting food rather than anything else. So the tent and the field kitchen, as far as I'm concerned, take priority. There, I get 18 research out of that. We need to start applying scientific methods, provide a place for people to study. Very well. First, though, I will go and get those tents fixed to make sure the homelessness gets resolved. So we're going to go with a small tent. I'm not sure if I can just pile these things together. And if they're going to start complaining that they can't actually reach them. I guess for now, it's okay. 1. There's still 5 people homeless. Come on, build that tent. 2 people homeless. We are looking at a peaceful colony here, population of 20. And over here we found quite a bit, but most of these are going to be requiring the sorting hut, which currently I do not have. When it comes to my population, I think I can expand. I think I can get a few more guys and probably have enough food and other resources to still keep everybody going. Let's do some research. When it comes to growth, the sorting hut is going to be the first priority that I want, because this is going to start producing rubbish. So let's get that. The sorting lodge, I'll need to have developed rubble in order to start using that, so that's a no joy. Let's go back to general tech. Survival. A fishing wharf is going to require building wood, and that would give me, no pun intended, a lot more food. So that's definitely an interesting option. Exploration is going to give me the hacksaw, requiring the study. Okay, so we're going to research this, and then we're going to get the study. First though, I want to make sure I have every food resource covered, because that's where I ended up going bad last time around. Now we are getting fish, that's the plus. The downside is we're not actually using the fish in order to turn that fish into something edible. So let's go with the field kitchen and ensure that people can actually use those fish in a safe manner, because I do have a whole lot of risky food, but I'm not actually turning it into useful food. Okay, let's go and explore some more. There is a massive building over here, but we need boats in order to get there. I don't think we can go very far beyond this. Let's explore anyway. I might be able to pass this. This is going to need the welding torch, and it will provide me with scrap. Okay. And this, again, is going to need the hacksaw. So, unfortunately, locked for now. The dead tree is going to need the hacksaw. Dead tree. Rubble. Oh, building remnants. We're going to search this. This can get taken down. This can get turned into a house for 250. And I do have a substantial amount. I guess I could use this. Especially if I built the sorting hut. But like I said, I want to make sure that I have the base resources covered first. Field kitchen is coming up. We're going to be getting 15 safe meals per day. I don't find that to be sufficient. How much are we fishing per day? 15. So I would need to get either a bigger shipyard or a bigger fishing dock. Or I'm going to have to find a secondary food resource. Such as this. In order to gather more stuff. To gather more base resources. First, let's set up a second field kitchen. Or actually, can I upgrade that? Is that survival? Field kitchen. Standard kitchen. Requires planks. Planks is something I get how? Where are the planks at? Academy, woodcutting station. You'd think it'd be here, right? We can also get the shellfish post. Gives you another 10 food. Not bad. Where the heck are the planks? Is that... This is going to give you... Oh, here, woodcutting station, potentially. Develop planks. Which are... I have no idea. Okay, we'll just find the planks later. Let's first make sure we have enough food. A little while later, this pop-up comes up. So this may sound silly, I know, but you see, I'm a little worried that we have a gambling plague in this settlement. There's nothing really going on lately, and out of boredom, people have started betting on stupid things. Whether it will rain, how many seagulls they will count on the shore, who will find the biggest mushroom. For now, it's fun, but I think they're starting to take it more and more seriously. First arguments have started. Perhaps you can intervene before things get unpleasant. I think it's within our line of thinking to not do any betting. But, you know, they might not like it, because this is their source of entertainment. They don't have a lot of it, so I understand that they need some form of distraction. Now, I have explored a bit more to the west, and I want to search for people, but the area is unreachable. So I guess I'm going to need to build another storage facility, just to make sure that we have, well, room to continue, really. So let's build a small storage and do that over here, if there is room. But I cannot build on this type of surface. I can do it here. Excellent. It's going to take me 300 of my rubbish supply. And I do believe I'm maxed out on rubbish, mostly. So I'll not actually be able to do much with it. So might as well build one of these things. Which then should allow me to start exploring this. I don't know why it's unreachable, but I think it has to do with the fact that I'm too far away from where I'm currently operating. Because this thing, let's say the base, it has a sort of operating radius. So having another one, hopefully will expand on that and allow me to start exploring a bit farther. Now I have not too many tasks here. So let's start working on a way to get a fairly steady supply of rubbish. This is going to give me 600. And it's going to cost me 150. Yeah, it's going to cost me 150. So that's a very good rate on an... It's going to be a very good rate of return. Yeah, now I can approach this. And this is where a flare popped up. So this is likely where the scouts are at. That's going to be interesting. What was that blinking light over there? Interesting. There's a very heavy workload both here and here. These things are connected, and I think they share the same workers, although I'm not exactly sure. There's no worker available to fill the new workspace, yeah. I'm going to take a worker away from here and have them work here, so that I don't have to constantly keep scavenging, but I'll at least be able to get a somewhat steady supply of rubble. Alright, let's go and get our scouts. Let's go and get additional pop. There are people hiding in the ruins. They're willing to join us, but they don't want to breed ill will by forcing any one of us to share their water rations. We have enough water, for now, but we're using it at a rate of 2.5 per day. So, well, actually, I think... How much are we getting from this? We're getting 17.5 per day. And we're taking 12... Oh, it's not telling the whole story. Food is definitely going to go a lot faster now. So making sure that we have a good food supply, critical. This means I will set up the second field kitchen, because we do have a whole bunch of fish. And I can always take it down and start using it later. There is a bunch of food here. So I'll very much... definitely take whatever is in here. And we're going to continue exploring, picking berries and whatnot. Then, I think it's time to start working on the study. There are people homeless again, naturally. Make sure that we have a couple of tents for these people. Oh, there's a street light over there. Okay. That's causing interference. Well-being, tent... 3 tents ought to do it. How many people do I have unemployed? Because I don't believe I have everybody doing something useful. Many people are working on something. But... what? Still 6? Really? Huh. Okay. Let's go and get 3 more tents. 1, 2, 3. Our rubbish supply is down. We have a capacity to store 1.5k. I'm getting 30 per day. And I should be able to get another worker here. When it comes to the field kitchens, we're now getting 15 food from each kitchen per day. And we can turn 20 out of 30 food into 60 safe food. But that means I'm going to be burning through this very quickly. So let's go and get that study operational. So I can get some more research points and start teching up. Study. This is going to cost me 400 rubbish, which I do not have. Nor do I have enough wood in stock. So perhaps I'll have to work on some research. Where was that? Survival? Where's the hacksaw? Here. Oh, I will have required... Yeah. It's going to cost me 10 points. I don't have any near that. Well-being, I can't research anything there. Survival, I can get the fishing wharf for additional fish. I'm just not sure if it's going to deplete the amount of fish that are in there. And, again, I don't have enough research. So, yeah, let's go and gather some more resources first. A little while later, we have found something. It was in a cage, barely alive, but alive. It's beautiful. I haven't seen something like this in years. I think it's a girl, but it's a bird. You know, birds. It's a dove, a real dove, white as the snow used to be before. You know, it's glorious. I know it's not going to help us. I mean, one of the explorers wanted to eat it and cook it. We can't do that. We should take it as a mascot, a pet, something. I don't know. It just feels special. I can feed it and then set it free. I can cook it, or I can keep it as a symbol of hope. No, I'm going to feed and set it free. That aligns with my belief. So that's what I'm going to do. This is part, I believe, of the search of the radio tower. There's also a ruined house nearby with a fairly decent amount of resources. So let's take this thing, explore it, gather the resources, and continue working. Now, over here, the people have a long way to go home. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that they don't have to go as far. And I'm trying to get a couple of tents operational. But of course, with a fairly low supply of storage, or sorry, a fairly low supply of rubbish, it's not necessarily easy. I would like additional salvaging going on. And I do believe I have the population for that. So let's go with the sorting hut. And there is 600 around. Which seems like a fairly good deal. But of course this is also going to take resources. And this fishing dock is going to take resources. And this, as far as I'm concerned, takes priority. Now always keep exploring. Always keep finding new stuff. Let's see what is out there. We can't go through the deep, I understand that. Scout that out as well. Plenty to see. Very heavy workload. They can barely keep up with their tasks. That's fine. I'll try and take it a bit slower. Hey, what's that? Why is there a flare? Is that because something new got explored? Nice. We're going to search this ruined house. Speaking of ruined houses, there is one nearby. This building remnant. Sorry, this one. I can turn this into an a renovated house for the cost of 250. And I can also take it down if I bring a hacksaw. I cannot yet fix it up. But it would provide, I think, decent shelter to 5 people. For the price of 250. And considering that a tent is what, 300? A tent is 150 for 3 people. So, yeah, it works out. You're paying 50 for one person to sleep. So I think this should be fine. I can definitely use this house. This one, sadly, I cannot, but I can take it down. Again, the hacksaw being the limiting factor. Come on, people, start building stuff, please. Thank you. There's one. Building things takes a fairly long amount of time. It's a bit concerning. Yeah, and the game keeps saying, hey, these people live very far away. Try and get some closer place for them to sleep. Sadly, none of these houses are available to fix up. So I can't exactly let them sleep here, which means I will have to work on those tents. Pile of rubble gather using a sledgehammer. Don't have that. I don't know what our reclaimed radio tower does. So I'm not going to invest any resources in there, and I'll probably need to get the tech for that first. After some further gathering and building, I now have the study, and I am working on gathering research. I even get 5 research as a bonus, because now we have a couple of people who can call themselves scientists. Now that we've got the beginnings of a real settlement, we need to keep in mind what our end goal is. If we actually find the rebirth power plant, we'll have to run the rebirth power plant. We need to start training people in specialized skills. We'll need people who can work, think, lead, and follow. We've been fighting with sticks for decades. We need to put that behind us. We need to become civilized once again and focus on training people in ways that would be useful for maintaining a permanent settlement or working with technology. You'll also want to start forging connections between the clans. You're in charge, but the people have their own opinions. They'll make their desires known, and sadly, no one is going to love everything you do. Most of them probably won't even like most of what you do. You'll have to find a way to keep everyone together and focused on the goal. Still, we're well on our way. So, I need to set up a specialized work post for people with the fortitude specialization, set up a learning environment for people to develop specializations, increase fortitude, and fill one of the specialized work spots. Posts. So, yeah, plenty to do. And plenty to progress with. Lots more to explore, and I'm looking forward to it. So, that's the end of this episode. Join me in the next one, as we're going to go into a bit of specialization, ideally a lot more research, and progressing the plot. Join me next time. Thanks for watching.